Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy March 3rd. Can you believe it's March already, everyone? Welcome to our next Mornings with Mayesh. I am so excited about this because we have Hanneke Frankema. She's an incredible designer, award-winning. She's an educator, and also she is my very first international guest. So I feel like my show is moving up a little bit in the world. You know what I mean? So I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoy today. And while we are waiting for everyone to come in and join us and get started, just say hello. Let me know where you are from. And then we'll get started in a couple minutes like usual. Sound good? All right. So next thing I wanted to make sure that everyone knows, in case you're new, we turned this into a podcast. So you'll have that as a replay. We also have the video replay. And then I also post the show notes up on our blog. So you can find everything there. And then obviously we also post a version of the video replay up on YouTube. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. But I do love podcasts. I myself have been listening to a lot more podcasts. I have been for a while, but I just feel like I've been finally starting to get back into the groove of exercising. And so it's my way of kind of multitasking, either whether it's for my own personal stuff or catching up on social media news, marketing news, flower news. I kind of love it. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. And if you listen to the podcast and you're listening now, I'd love for you to leave a reply, a review. So if you love it, let us know. We love those reviews. Also, I wanted to let you know that if you aren't already subscribed, I hope that you do so. That way you can kind of keep up and going with the news. And we'll go from there. All right. Let me go check over on Facebook because I'm not seeing any counts, that type of thing. Hopefully it's all working all right. All right. Good morning, guys. If you're joining us, say good morning. Let us know who you are and where you're from in the comments. Also, as I'm talking to Hanneke, I hope that if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. And if we have time, of course, we will answer those. And just lots of fun stuff happening today. All right. Let me bring on Hanneke. We'll get started. Good morning, Hanneke. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I had a whole day already working, so yes, let me get myself.
There we go. Yep, you're in frame with your beautiful design behind you. I love it.
I did it on purpose.
It's all good. So what I usually do is I will take off that first part for our podcast, and I'm going to kind of start all over. So it sounds a little weird because I'm going to repeat myself here for a second.
No problem.
So good. Oh, and I see. Okay, let's see. Esther is here from London. Good morning. Hi, Penny. How are you? Keep it coming, guys. We love it. We love it. All right. And if you're joining us, again, hello. My name is Yvonne Ashton, and welcome to our Mornings with Maya show. Today, I have floral designer and educator and my first international guest, Hanneke Frankema. And we're so excited because we're going to be chatting about flowers and design and competitions and shows and so many things that we haven't really talked about in the past. So I'm super excited about that. Welcome, Hanneke.
Hi. Nice to be here.
So to get started, why don't you just start super easy and tell us a little bit about yourself and your flower story?
Well, I am 37 years old. I have two little girls. One is 6 and the other one is only 6 months. So I have a baby at home. So if you hear some screams in the background, it's the little one, I think. But my mother's babysitting now. So I am a freelance florist for, I think, 5 years. And I had a flower shop for 10 years. And I'm a master florist. And I was the youngest one in Holland at the time. I was 21, and normally people do it when they're a little bit older. And I started doing competitions when I was really young. And there I found I had some talent for it. And I competed in some other competitions. And then they started asking me to do demonstrations and shows. And then it grew and it grew and it grew. And now I'm a really, really busy, happy florist traveling all over the world. So I'm really happy with being a freelancer.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And so, yes, I did read that you were the youngest florist to achieve master status in Holland. So, for those of us that might not understand what that means, can you expand on that a little bit more?
Well, I'm now obligated. Well, I can now use the title master florist, and in Holland, it's the highest level of education. I went to floristry school for 7.5 years
Wow.
before you can get the title. You have to get some degrees first before you can even attend to do the diploma for master florist. And in the end, you have to do a really big project with something that's new within floristry. And I think I have been taking more than 2,000 pictures and lots of things to work out, and then in the end you do a really good big project in front of 5 judges. So it's quite a high level thing, and not everybody will get the diploma, so it's really strict. But I think you will never stop learning, and I was quite disappointed when I was done with learning. I think you can keep learning every day.
Yes, for sure. For sure. That's actually one of the reasons why I love what I do, because there's always something new to learn. And
Yes.
I think that for design too, it's always kind of pushing yourself to be innovative and thinking of
Yeah,
new
and you're
ideas. And
always evolving, and I have the same thing every time. But I travel a lot, so I go to different wholesalers and I see different materials, and I get very much inspired by those new things. So I just went to Germany this weekend for a demonstration, and they have so many cool things there. So I bought a lot of stuff, and then I can
yeah.
like keep working on those new things for a couple of weeks and use it for demonstrations. And I think it's evolving all the time.
Yes, for sure. Uh, is there anything in particular that you found in Germany that's like one of your favorite new things that you haven't used before?
Well, I think in Germany it was not really new, but as some of you might know, I really love iron. So I work a lot with iron and open structures, and
Hmm.
that's what we're also going to do in a couple of months for you guys.
Yes.
And they had some really nice iron items. Like handmade iron leaves. I don't have them here now.
Hmm.
And they were a little bit in a rustic, so they were really dark brown. And we don't have it in Holland. So I think that's a really interesting, cool item to work with. But they
Right.
can also have really nice, small details. Something like this here in the back, these ones, they are called angel wings. And we don't have them in Holland. So when I saw them there, because I ordered these from a different country, but I saw them there, so I just
Right.
bought a couple of bags.
Very cool. I love it. I love it. So you're talking about being master florist. I also wanted to hear from you about your 2018 Dutch championship that you won. Can you
Yes.
tell us a story about how that came to be and what you designed, and how did that all work?
Well, it was actually I did it a couple of times, and it's every 4 years. And the last time before I won, I was second, so I was a little bit disappointed. And I thought,
Right.
well, I'm going to stop doing competitions because next to being the Dutch champion, I was already really busy with doing freelance work. So to be busy with working was not really the goal, but I always want to win everything. So all the competitions in Holland I participated in, and I won everything except that one. So I kept pushing myself to do it again. And also the job we had to do was really really nice, because
Mhm.
the first task for the qualification round, because I had to win 2 competitions to go to the Europe Cup. It was, you had to make an arrangement with your own identity. So I think that was a really cool assignment, a cool task. So I
Right.
made a really, really heavy piece out of cast iron together with an artist. So that was really cool. So I really loved the assignment. So that's why I joined again, and I really wanted to win this time. So I gave it all. And normally we get, for the qualification round, 1 task you can prepare at home, and then 2 surprise tasks.
Mhm.
And then I won that one, and then we went to the finals. And there we had to make a hanging object, and I really love to make floral chandeliers. So I made a golden chandelier out of cardboard. And I think everybody should check my Facebook page or Instagram, because I have all the pictures there. I don't have them here lying around, but if you check it out there, then you can see all the results. And the hardest part from the final was to make a chandelier that's not heavier than 25 kilos. And of course, when you work with flowers and water, it's very heavy, but I've used cardboard to make the frame. So it was quite clever. And also, for me, that's a good way to work with new materials. Because next to the chandelier, I made so many other things during demonstrations, because it was a new material for me to work with. So that those things, like competitions, they give you lots of inspirations and new ideas. And that's why I think it's very important to do them all the time.
Yes, yes, very cool. So speaking of competitions, now you're getting ready to compete in the 2020 Europa Club. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about that too?
Yeah, that's very exciting. It's in the beginning of June in Katowice in Poland. Many good florists are going to compete, lots of friends, so I think it will be really nice, next to excitement, of course.
Right.
The overall theme is music and dance, and I really love to work with round, like moving shapes and lines. So I think for me, the theme is really good. I know that, like in Philadelphia, they had to make arrangements inspired by architecture or design, or maybe a building, a special building. And I think for me, it's more suitable with the dancing and music, because in every task you can find something that has to do with dancing and music. So for me, it's really good. And all the tasks are quite free. Sometimes you have so many limitations in a task, and I think in this competition it's quite free. So I think it will be very interesting to see what all the designers bring, because they can really put their own feelings and their own thing in it. So when I got the tasks a couple of weeks ago, and we're now busy working with the ideas, and someone is making the framework, the basis, and I'm ordering materials, finding out what flowers to use. So at the moment it's really busy, but really fun to do. I really love the preparation stage.
I love it. It sounds so exciting, and
Yes,
good luck with that.
thank you.
So I'm going to bring up the page on your website that has this giant floral installation that you created for Fleuramour. I'm just freaking
Belgium.
amazed by this. So just to give everyone a little bit of information, it was 8 meters high, 10 meters wide. It was 2,900 pounds, used 5,000 tubes, 15,000 tie wraps, and 12,000 flowers. So I'm going to scroll through here, but I would love to hear about all the juicy details, because I'm sure this was so much planning. I'm sure there was drama.
Oh, of course, there's
And,
always.
just love to hear how you came up with this concept, and just everything about this is just, it's breathtaking.
Well, I did it together with Max van der Sluis. He's also quite a famous florist. He was in the group in Live 3, together with Per Benjamin and Thomas de Bruyne. They did it. They did a lot of shows, the three of them together.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we got the job, and it's a huge floral. How do I call it? It's a really big castle, and every year they have a big floral event in the castle. So some of the designers get a room with really nice ceilings and nice furniture, and we got the inner court, and the inner court is really the most important place to be. And well, I think we decided really fast that we wanted to do something like this, because it was really high. Because the structure in the end is 10 meters high,
Right.
and of course, you're not really able to use hundreds of thousands of flowers, so you have to find something that has a lot of effect. And me and Max, we work a lot with air and light constructions. So well, I think we came up with the idea really quickly, and the decision to use these colors, I think it's one of my favorite colors, like the orange and salmon.
Right.
and also for Max. But also it looks really nice if you look at the building, because the whole inner court is made out of bricks and they are a little bit brownish. I think you can see it a little bit in the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we wanted to make something that was really big and, of course, quick to make, or well, fairly quick to make. So the whole structure is made out of iron, 2 iron rings, and they were 2 meters across, and one is 10 meters hanging up in the air, and the other one is hanging under it, and they hang on all the fish wires, a lot of kilometers of fish wires.
Right.
And we put the glass tubes like a curtain. It's like a cylinder-shaped curtain, and we put 5,000 glass tubes on the fish wires. And then we made a big web out of really nice vines and gloriosas and roses, and I think a big mixture of orange and salmon colors. But we wanted to have something special in the middle as well, and I think you can see it really nicely. Like the bulbs in the middle, they were made out of the Oasis floral foam with dahlia flowers, mixed colors matching the colors on the outside curtain.
Right.
And we made a construction around the bulbs with rustic wire from Oasis. That's also material I use a lot. So it looks really like, if you look at the pictures, like a universe.
Yeah,
And I'm really spoiled because we have really good pictures. My boyfriend is my photographer also, and he was there. And when it got dark, we pushed out all the colleagues and all the florists, because we really wanted to have amazing pictures, because it was a huge project. So I'm really happy he was there as well, because I think pictures are very important to have as a florist.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it was a really cool project, but I think we made it in 3 days, but we had like 40 assistants, also like 20 Chinese assistants, and some of them came out of Italy, and we had some students. And some of the students I have still, we kept in touch still. It's been a couple of years ago already, but it's really nice example how you can make really nice friends if you do projects like this.
Right. Right. It's honestly so jaw-dropping. And when we were first learning about you, we someone was like, she's known for these like transparent installations, and we had no idea what that meant. And then I was like, oh yes, this is gorgeous.
Yeah. I really love that kind of work.
Yes.
So yeah. But it was quite tricky because you asked for some juicy details, but we had to work 10 meters high on the machines. But the ground floor was not level all the time. So sometimes we were really up high in the air and the alarm from the machines went off because it wasn't stable. So sometimes it was a little bit frightening. And if you're afraid of heights, it's not such a big success.
Oh yeah, I'm terrified of heights. I can't even go on a step ladder without shaking.
No, I was also, when I was younger, afraid of heights, but you learn if you do it a lot of times, and then you get to trust the machines and the ladders and yourself, of course, and then it's fine.
Yes, very good. Very good. All right, we'll move on, even though I don't want to, because I feel like we could just talk about this all day and just stare at it and admire it. Let me remove my share screen, and there we go. All right, so I know you mentioned that you had a flower shop. Do you still have a flower shop, or is your focus just primarily on freelancing?
Yeah, totally freelance. I had a shop for 10 years in north of Holland, and there came a point in my life, very long story. I had the flower shop with my ex-boyfriend, and at one point we broke up, and then I was like, well, we cannot do the shop together. And I was doing a lot of freelance already. So for me, the decision to go totally 100% freelance was really easy, because I did a lot of work outside of the shop already. And in the last couple of years, I really felt like I was growing out of the shop a little bit. I think it was a really good learning experience for me to have the shop, because I teach a lot. And I know what's going on in shops and how to look at the business side of it, and also how to look what commercial is. And of course, I make lots of structures and lots of works that take a lot of time, but I always know how to change it a bit So it's suitable for shop and suitable for selling. So I think for me it was a very good experience. But for me, I don't miss the shop at all. I think I have the best job there is now. I can travel all over the world, and I can make everything I really like, because people hire me to make what I like because they like that style. So I think I have the best job there is.
I love it. For people who are in the industry, and we have a lot of new people that watch this show. So, what is your suggestion for people who are kind of evaluating on what path they should take, and how did you come to say, freelancing is it, and how do you manage that for like your life and budgeting and stuff, because you don't know what jobs you're getting in and things like that. Like, how does that all work?
Yeah. It's tricky thing, because I have so many people. They approach me on Facebook, like young students from all over the world, and they ask me, "How did you do it?" And I also want to do it. I think it has to do a little bit. For me, the competitions were really good to do,
Right.
but you also have to be a good florist on stage. You have to be able to present yourself correctly, and you have to there's also a business side. But so I think if you are a good florist and you're good on stage and you have a good appearance, I think it could be for anybody. But it's a really small market, so it's not that easy to come in this world, and you have to have good contacts and people who want you to do it and want to help you do it. So I always say, try to have a job next to freelancing, and then
Hmm.
slowly turning into a 100% freelancer. It's
Okay.
just not happening. I think it would be a miracle if you say, well, I'm stopping. I'm quitting my job now, and I want to be a freelancer tomorrow, and I will be really busy in the first week. It doesn't work like that. It's like a process, and it has to grow. So for me, having the shop was a really good combination, because I could slowly like develop myself doing more freelance work, and it wasn't even on purpose. It just happened, and it went really well. But you have to work hard for it. It's not something you can just do in a week and then be successful in it.
Right. Right. I can imagine it would be a lot of hard work. It's like, even though you're a freelancer, it is like your business, it's your personal brand, and you have to build that and treat it as that and keep on nurturing to grow it.
Yeah, yeah, and also like advertising. I don't do a lot of advertising, but for me, social media is a really important aspect of being a freelancer. And of course, I am so lucky to have a boyfriend who is a photographer, so I always have good pictures. But I think if you are a little bit creative, you can also make good pictures with your phone and try to be professional. But yeah, I think I have a little bit luck on my side with having good pictures, because I post every week a couple of times really nice pictures of my work, and I get a lot of jobs out of this. So I think social media at the moment is a very important aspect of running a business.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we love social media. It's very, very important to be able to do
Yeah.
that and do it well. All right. So obviously you're a very talented designer, but do you have a favorite type of design that you love to make, one over another?
Well, yeah, I really love, but it's also a coincidence. But I really love to work with iron, but also make chandelier kind of
Hmm.
work. So a hanging object with flowers and iron and handmade metal leaves, things like that. But also really nice structured bridal bouquets and hand tied bouquets. I really like those as well. So I don't have one really favorite thing.
Right.
People ask me a lot of times, what's your favorite flower? But I don't really have one particular favorite flower. You often use the same kinds of flowers, but if I look at at the things I made 5 or 10 years ago, it was totally different. So it's also something that keeps evolving all the time. And I
Right.
think if you're a good florist, you can work with everything.
Right, right. So true, so true. And I know you brought up bouquets, and we've talked about your transparent installations. And I did mention the very top of the show that you are one of our designers for our upcoming Netherlands workshop. So did you
Yeah.
want to talk a little bit about that, since we've kind of touched a bit on like your favorite things and what we're going
Yeah.
to be doing with
No,
you?
I think it's going to be also a lot with the transparent constructions. We're going to do a lot of things with Iren, making really nice structured bouquets in the morning, and in the afternoon we're going to make a big installation with wire and lots of techniques, lots of handmade small things that you can use in either bouquets or but also for bridal bouquets or wreaths. Um, and I think it will be a quite free workshop, especially for the bouquets. I'm bringing a couple of examples, and we have chosen the color palette already, and it's a little bit these colors. And
Beautiful.
we have beautiful flowers on the list. I saw that already. So I always give a demonstration, like in the morning first, and then I will just let the florists often choose their own materials and flowers. I'm not the kind of florist who would give everybody the same package, like a couple of meters of this and some rope, and you get 10 flowers of this and 10 of that. I always give them some free space to do their own thing. And I think we have more than 20 people coming, so you see 20 different bouquets. And if they're working fast, they can do several bouquets. So it's a little bit up to them. So, and I think lots of people like this because the people that are coming are really experienced often, and they can approach it in their own way and what is interesting for them. So I'm looking really forward to doing this in a couple of months.
Yes, yes. And believe it or not, it's in like a month. I keep on thinking that it's in a couple of months too, but
Oh
we're
yeah,
down to like
yeah, it's a month. Yeah,
it's
you're totally
coming up
right.
fast.
Time flies.
It does. It really does. I love it. Awesome. Well, I'm so excited about that. I know everyone's going to be just fawning over everything that they get to work on. And yes, the flowers, all of our workshops, that's something that we like definitely pride ourselves on, because that's what we do, the flower part of it. So we always try to make sure that there's like the best of the best
Yeah,
for
yeah.
all of our
Of course, I
workshops.
follow you already for a long time on Instagram and Facebook, and you have the most beautiful flowers all the time. So I
Thank
think
you.
for all the participants and the teachers, it's going to be a flower shop, no, or a candy shop to work in. And
Yes.
I've seen so many different wholesalers and different areas to work in, and I think you are really well organized, and I really love your all the different types of flowers, and yeah, you can see you have a lot of love also for the profession and flowers. So and
We
sometimes when you come somewhere else, it could be a bit different. So I think
yes.
we will be spoiled in a month.
Yes, yes. It's always different, and that's part of the fun part of what we do. So
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So there's a question here from Penny. She wants to know, what country grows your favorite flowers? Do you have that?
Well, I am also because I have a boyfriend who is a good photographer, and we take
Hmm.
a lot of we do a lot of flower promotion, and I think a lot of really good growers are in Holland. And
Yes.
but it's a really good example. We're going to have the workshop at Montana, and Montana is a Lysianthus grower. They have beautiful varieties, beautiful colors like the salmon and brown colors. So yeah, I think if you ask me what is kind of your favorite flower, I think I love the Lysianthus, but
Right.
also orchids. And I have them here as well. I can show you because I know the grower personally really well. I really love this one, and I love.
Beautiful.
I know the grower really well. It's also I think it's 10 minutes from Montana, and I think I'm a really spoiled florist also because we have so many growers here. So
Yes.
and when you get to know the growers personally, you get more involved in the process, and you understand how hard it is to grow all the materials. So I think I have a couple of growers that are from Holland, and they have beautiful varieties. And I'm always spoiled because I always get to work with the new varieties and the new colors. But I think I will go for Holland for this question.
Yes. I think a lot of people would agree with you too. Okay, back to our questions. So, obviously, you're a super creative person. How do you stay inspired and come up with fresh design ideas? Do you have a process that you do, or does it just spontaneously happen?
I think sometimes spontaneously, but also, like I told you before, I was in Germany and we found some new materials there, and I was like,
Right.
oh, I want to buy this, and then I drive home and I think, oh, I can make something like this with this material or something else. And while I start working with it, I get new ideas all the time. And also, like the golden cardboard hanging chandelier,
Mm-hmm.
that was for me a new material to use. And later I've used it in bridals and normal bouquets and wreaths. And I would never choose to use the cardboard if I didn't use it for the competition. So automatically you get new ideas because you're like pushed in a direction because of the task you're getting. And I also work a lot for Floral magazines, and sometimes they come up with a theme that could be quite new for you, like transparency, or maybe working with the combination of dry flowers together with fresh flowers. And then you're also pushed in a direction, and then you start to think differently, and then all the ideas pop up all the time because I
Right.
get the questions a lot.
Oh, I bet.
And sometimes it's really hard to explain because the ideas are always there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, especially if you get jobs that push you in a direction, you will automatically get inspired by new materials and new ideas.
Yes, very good. So I know that you're very involved with the industry and with your competitions and the magazine shoots and things that you do. Is there anything that you're seeing as an emerging floral trend that might be coming up that you want to share with everyone, or any?
Um, well, I get the question a lot, but I'm not such a big trend follower. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, when I get a job and they want me to do something with the dry flowers, and that's something that's really hot at the moment still, and it's here for a long time already. But I think it's still
Right.
really hot and trendy in Holland anyway. But also in Germany this weekend we did a lot with dry materials. Um, but I don't really think there's like one trend. I think at the moment it's really free floristry. Like 10, 20 years ago, you had so many rules. You always have to use 3 or 5 or 7.
Right.
And now you can just go ahead and make whatever you like. So I think it's quite free. And of course, you will always get trends, but I think I maybe on purpose don't really follow them. I just take my own thoughts and make what I like, and I don't really keep an eye on the trends. Maybe not a good example, but for me it works really well not to follow trends.
Yeah.
And I can really see sometimes I came up with new techniques and new ideas, and then later on you see other florists also make it, and they are not really copying it, but you can see you're an inspiration for other florists. So I think it's also good that you don't really follow trends or follow others. And I always try to find my own trends, I think.
Yeah, I love that. It is very inspiring. A Huntress Flora says, "Love the free flow versus trends. So inspiring." Yay!
Great.
And then Lori is saying, Hanukkah, that piece hanging behind you, what is it made from? Can you talk a
Yes,
little bit
it
about that?
is. And that's something I also try to do. I try to reuse things a lot of times. So this is actually styrofoam, and it's covered with candle wax. And when I bought a big plate or a dish, it was in the middle. So this was to protect
Ah,
the dish. So this was in the box, and normally you would throw it out. And I was like, oh, I really love this shape. And I really like to work with candle wax and other materials than only fresh flowers. So I
right.
covered it with candle wax, and I made like a construction in the middle inside, and on purpose staying within the round shape. And then also I used a lot of dry materials and just a couple of fresh flowers and tubes, so you can reuse it a couple of times.
It's amazing. Who would have thought to put candle wax on styrofoam and reuse something that
Yeah,
came in a box?
can you see it? Yeah.
I love it. So cool.
Yeah, also the really small ginkgo leaves, the metal ones, they are from China. So no, not a lot of people have these, but this is I think a typical Hanukkah piece. I
Yes.
love these colors and the materials that are inside as well. Yeah.
It definitely screams you. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I love it. I love it. Okay, so a little bit of a different type of question. If you could go back and talk to your younger self when you were just getting started in the floral industry, what advice would you give young Hanukkah?
Okay. Well, that's a very good question because for me, I didn't really have a really straight on role model, and I just went to work in a flower shop. And I was 18 when I got my own apartment, and I was working for 7 years in that flower shop. And later, I thought it was maybe better for my experience to work in much more different flower shops, or maybe garden centers, or um, florists who do more things with events or something. So I think for me in the beginning, it was safe because I had a steady job and I did work 4 days a week and one day I went to school. So it was really safe. But looking back, it maybe would have been better to look at other flower shops and work there to get more different experiences. Because
Right.
after the 7 years working at one florist, I started my own flower shop. So that was something I thought maybe I missed the experience. And I talked with some really good designers as well, and they told me, well, it could also be good for you not to have one big role model and that you only worked in that shop, because I teach myself a lot of things and I got my own style.
Right.
And so you have so many florists who work for a couple of years in one florist, and they are going to be copying the teacher. And I
Right.
think I don't have that problem. Like Gregor Lash, he's really really good, and I'm a big fan of him. But you can really see who was going there for a couple of years, and of course it's in Europe. But I think he is also famous in America,
Yes.
of course. But you can see which florists work there, and they have a similar style. So, and I
Hmm.
think I don't have that problem because I had to do everything on my own. And at
Right.
that moment, it was not easy all the time, but I think looking back, that was okay. But like the experience you get with working at different shops, that would have been maybe a little bit better. But
Very
in the
good.
end, I'm fine.
Very good. I had another question come in that was emailed and from Fionary Bloom. They want to know, do you have a background in art? Your designs are so unique and outside of the box.
Well, no. I
Yeah.
only did floristry school. So we
Yeah.
had some art classes there, and I really loved it. But that you get inspirations in architecture and buildings and put it in arrangements. But I don't really have a background in it. No.
No. You're just super creative with flowers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. And other materials. Very
Yes, of
cool.
course. Yeah, and that for me is, yeah, I really love the combination, working with other materials than only fresh flowers and finding new cool stuff to combine with fresh flowers.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. So, do you have any like upcoming events or anything else that you want to talk about and share with everyone?
Well, of course, the Europe Cup is really something big that's coming up, and your
Yes.
great workshop, of course, in a month. And then, but I kept my agenda a little bit clear, empty, because I think the Europe Cup is very important and it takes a lot of time and effort and money. And I have a lot of sponsors. So I think, yeah, for now, that's the biggest one coming up. And then I have a couple of visits to China and Mexico, but it's a little bit later in the year. So
Right.
not really big things like Aldenbiesen, like in Belgium, the arrangement we talked about, the installation.
Mhm.
I think if the Europe Cup is done, then I will also throw myself in the bigger things again. But
Yeah.
it takes a lot of preparations to do the big shows, and I want to have my focus now on the Europe Cup.
Yes, yes, very good. I see another question here. It's from Penny. She says, I have a prom fashion show and wedding show this week. You have any suggestions for her, probably to stand out from everyone else?
Well, I think she is going to work with flowers there. Eh? That's the
Yeah.
idea, I think. Eh? Yeah, make something really big and showish,
Yeah.
something that's really standing out, and make something that people are going to talk about. If you're going to make a really small hand-tied bouquet, they will like it, but you have to do something really big or something that's a couple of meters long, like on the ground behind the model, something special,
Right.
something to make people remember you and take a lot of pictures and put you on Facebook and Instagram.
Kind of
Separate
like
yourself
a
from the rest.
Yeah, kind of like the haute couture fashion. You want to
Yeah,
like that, is just for the show, and then
yeah.
you actually make your everyday wear that
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
can
Because
use.
you cannot, if you just only make the simple commercial things there, they will see that all the time. But you have to do something different,
Yes.
something special.
Very good, very good. And then I also have a comment from Peter, who he's from Mayesh. He says, "What is the Dutch word you're going to teach us today related to the flower world?"
The Dutch word.
Yes, you got to teach us a word, Hanneke.
Wow. Well, that's no. Well, maybe transparency, because that's something I really like, and it's something else, and you can put it in all kinds of arrangements, like the big installations we talked about, but also in bridal bouquets and also in hand-tied bouquets and wreaths and hotel work or corporate work. So I think it should be interesting for florists to think about it at least,
Right.
because
So how
everybody's used to making the normal hand tie bouquets or make a big arrangement in floral foam. But this is a totally different approach, and I think for me, what's very important, especially when you have a flower shop, if you make it really nice transparent frame, you can reuse it a couple of times. And like the
Right.
thing that's behind me, I can just refill the tubes a couple of times. And that's also something you can do with a lot of transparent framework or bases, and you can use it in your shops or for big events or for bridal bouquets. I think that could be interesting.
Okay, so how do you say transparency in Dutch?
Transparant.
And how do you say flower in Dutch?
Bloem.
Bloom.
Bloem. Like
Very good.
bloom, like a flower's blooming, but then we just
Uh-huh.
say bloom.
Got it, got it. And then Peter, he can speak Dutch. He wrote this. I don't know what that means though.
That's a flower queen. That's what he.
Flower
Yeah.
queen. That's you. I think that's
Oh,
what he's trying to
maybe.
say.
Well, thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Flower queen.
All right. So I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Yeah.
Some flower related, some not. Most of them not, because I had, what is your favorite flower? And you said you don't have one, so I'm not
No,
going to
no,
ask you
not
that
really.
again.
No, no. Yeah.
All right. So what's your favorite color? Do you have I know
Yeah, I
oranges you
think,
mentioned.
to be honest, at the moment, like the colors behind me, salmon I really love, but also gold and
Yes.
copper colors, rose gold, a little
I
bit
love,
in that area. Not really one color.
yeah, I'm a big fan of gold and blushes and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I like it.
are you a coffee or tea person?
Coffee,
Coffee?
cappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who do you admire most?
Oh, maybe my boyfriend for sticking up with me.
Well, it sounds like you are a great duo. So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah, of course, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I'm just joking, but I don't really have like one big role model. I think you can learn something from everybody. So yeah.
right, right. Are you a morning or a night person?
Well, I have a baby now, so at the moment it's neither.
Yeah. No sleep.
Oh no, but I think it's both is fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
both.
in floristry, sometimes you have to start really early, and sometimes you have to work really late. So I think it's just both. Yeah.
Right. Very good. What is your favorite hobby?
No, I think I don't really have a hobby, but we just bought a house a year ago, and we have a big garden. And I
Mhm.
was pregnant the first half year when we had the house. Well, I love to do things in the garden and also working again with natural materials. But yeah, well, next to that, I think my job is also my hobby. So if
Right.
I have an afternoon off and I don't have the kids and have just time to think of new things, I would just like go in my workplace and just find out new techniques and things. So I think my job is also my hobby.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Um, well, I went to China often. I go to China often. And I think it should be maybe like a pig's nose or something.
Right.
A part of an animal that's not really like normal to eat in our countries.
Right.
And sometimes you just find out later when you already ate it. So sometimes it's better not to know.
Very true.
Yeah.
What is one of your weird quirks that you'd want to share with everyone?
Mm, no, not really sure. I think I don't really have something.
You don't have anything weird that you do. You're lucky then.
No, I'm just thinking. Not really, really weird things. No,
No.
no. When I come up with something later, I will let you know. But I'm not that weird.
Yeah, yeah, it's all good. What is your favorite song right now?
Oh.
Itsy Bitsy
Hmm.
Spider?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so true. Oh, the favorites. well, I like Coldplay a lot
Mhm.
from England and Keane. Not so it's really famous, but also from England. That kind of music I like a lot, and I went to a concert from Keane a couple of weeks ago. So I really love that kind of music now again because when you see them live, you're like falling in love with the music all over again. But not
Right.
really one song, but like the songs or the type of songs that Coldplay produces, I really like.
Very good.
And I really love music. I always have music on when I'm working, so I think that's quite an important thing.
Very fun.
Also, that's why
Yep.
I really like the jobs we're getting at the Europe Cup, which also has
And
to do a lot with music and dance. So yeah,
yeah, I love it. I love it. Are
yeah.
you a dog or a cat person?
Cat.
Cat?
Yeah, we
Very
had
good.
two. I had two cats. They're not here anymore now, and we travel a lot, so it's not really easy to have pets now. But we have
Right.
some chickens in the garden.
Chicken's
But
good.
yeah, I was always a cat person. Yeah.
Cute. And what is success?
I think success is when you're just happy with your life.
Yeah.
Because I have, like, for instance, I have a mother, and she is very happy not having a career and just her small house and her children. So, and she thinks her life is really successful because that's what she wants. So, I think success is really happiness, and it's not for everybody to get to be world champion in floristry or win the Europe Cup or something. I
Right.
think being healthy and happy is success, and for everybody it's different.
Yes, I agree. So, is there any other way that you want the listeners to connect with you? I'm going to share your Instagram page. Is there anything else they can keep
Well,
up with you on?
um, well, I think they are free to ask me questions if they are following me on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. I don't have really something to share now because I
Okay.
share all the time on
Yeah.
social media and things like that. But I'm always happy to answer questions as
Very
long as
good.
I have time for it.
Good. Yeah. So here's Hanneke's Instagram, guys. If you want that, be sure to follow her. Her again, just her designs aren't what you typically see, and I think that's a great thing. It's so creative and innovative and fun, and she's always pushing the envelope to do something different and better and just grow as an artist. So I love it, Hanneke. Thank you so much for coming on today's show.
You're
And
welcome.
it was fun, and we'll see you in about a month.
Oh, yay! So excited. Cannot wait.
Yes. Woo,
Yes.
woo. So, guys, that's a wrap on today's Mornings with Mayesh. I hope you have a beautiful week. Be sure to mark your calendars for March 31st. I'll have our very own charity reel on the show. We're going to be talking about all the cool new features that you can find on our website that are going to make your flower life easier. It's going to be a lot of fun, definitely different than our normal show, but I hope you join us. And again, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. You make this show so special, and I will see you next week. Have a rocking day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.